Welcome back to Entrepreneur Money Stories. Many of us are familiar with the idea of setting New Year's resolutions. But what if I told you this year can be different? This year, let's not take this one size fits all approach to our goals and let's instead focus on the questions we need to ask ourselves for long term financial success. So here is my permission for you to stop setting New Year's resolutions for yourself personally and in your business, right? You do not have to set New Year's resolutions that fail anymore in your business. I am going to share with you the reflections worksheet that I've used for myself over the last 9 years. This is the worksheet that we use as a 7-figure business, and we have used with thousands of other small business owners. I promise you, this reflection sheet works. My name is Danielle Hayden, founder and CEO of Kickstart Accounting Inc. We have worked with thousands of business owners using bookkeeping as a vehicle to help business owners better manage their business and use their numbers to grow and thrive. Now, I'll never forget the day that I learned I could say no to things that didn't align with my goals. So, several years ago, when I started this process, I was asked to take on several projects at the same time. I had a major client that I was working with directly. We were starting to focus on podcasting for marketing, and I was a mom of 2 kids who were in middle school. I was sitting at my daughter's swim meet. And if any of your kids are in a swim, the pool, especially here in Cleveland, it is so hot and so humid. The minute you walk in there, you feel like your senses are just completely cleaned out from the chlorine. So you're sitting there for hours. It is the longest sport of all time. So I'm sitting on the bleachers that are harder than a rock for hours at a time, breathing in the smell of chlorine. And not to mention, I have naturally curly hair. So from the minute I step into the swim deck, I can feel my hair getting curlier and bigger every single moment. But I'm sitting at my daughter's swim meet on the hard bleachers, and I am distracted on my phone. I'm hot. I'm exhausted, answering client emails, putting my focus on everywhere that it shouldn't be, rather than the moment that I needed to be there for my daughter. Now, in swim, if you are not paying attention, you could easily miss your child's race. And you're sitting there for hours and they only race like 3 or 4 times. My daughter happened to be a very good swimmer. And so she happened to be in several events. But this day, I was distracted on my phone and realized that I had missed her event. I was sitting right there. I missed her event. I had been asked to travel and speak at a conference. And I was sitting there going back and forth, reading through emails, trying to do everything. So I decided right then and right there, it was December, that starting next year, I am allowed to say no. I am not going to say yes to anything that doesn't align with my goals. I don't have to travel anymore. I don't have to say yes to every speaking engagement. I don't have to say yes to every client. I needed to determine what my intention is for the year and what I say yes and no to for the next 12 months needs to align with what my intention is and what my goals are, both personally and in business. Now, I like to do this on an annual basis because it changed. Now, for me, I'm a mom, and I know a lot of our clients and listeners are parents as well. And so this is going to change for you depending on what season of life you are in. And it's also going to change on what season of your business you are in. There have been years where we were in high growth mode. You're pouring in money and energy and expenses and reinvestment into obtaining new clients, new revenue streams, and new growth within your business. You are in high growth mode. And then there's years that you are in maintenance mode, that you are caring for your clients, that you are working through the commitments that you have today. And there's years that you might be more focused or equally focused. You have an intention to be there for your personal life. For me, it was for my children. And for you, it might be an aging parent. It might be to be there for your spouse, right? What is your intention for this year so that you can better align how you are spending money? How are you looking at your budget? How are you looking at your financial statements so that you are operating, you are rowing in the same direction of your intentions for your business? Now, I'll tell you, for me this year, I suddenly realized my son, it has about 18 months until he is driving. And once he's driving, there goes all of our time. That is literally the only time that I can get my son to talk to me is when he is literally actually locked in four walls with me on the way to and from school and on the way to and from sporting events and picking up him and his friends on the weekends. And so I have decided that for the next 18 months that my number one priority is to say yes to my son. It is to be there to drive him to school every morning, to pick him up in the afternoon. I don't need to care for him once he's home, but I want to be the one to go pick him up. I want to be there for every single football, basketball. I'm hoping I'll sign up for track this year, for every single track meet. I want to be there for every sporting event that he plays because I have 4 years left of my kids still being involved in sports and being involved as a parent. And so for me, I know that my life has shifted and changed. And so I need to be able to say yes to those areas in my personal life. Now, luckily, that's not such a time requirement that it forces me to say no to much in my business. However, I might choose not to travel as much over the next 12 months. So, how do we go about setting this intention and understanding what our goals are for us as business owners? So, I want you to download the Kickstart Accounting Financial Goal Setting Worksheet so that this will allow you to actually fill in this worksheet as we go through it together. So you can go to kickstartaccountinginc.com/goal to download the financial goal setting worksheet. So first step is to always look backwards. In order to look forward, we need to look backwards. That's why we studied history all our lives throughout grade school and high school. We need to be able to look backwards to be able to look forward. And we take the same approach to looking at our financial statements on a regular basis. In order to know where we're going financially, we need to look back over the last 12 to 18 months to see where we went, what worked, what didn't work. So first is, what financial goals did you achieve? Like, what happened this last year? As business owners, we too often say, all right, on to the next goal. I know that we do this here at Kickstart. I literally have to say to my team, hold on, wait, let's pause, let's celebrate, let's cheers, right? We do not need to move on to the next goal before celebrating. So before you set a goal or an intention for next year, I want you to think back, what financial goals did you achieve over the last 12 months? What hard lessons did you learn? I mean, I'm talking the hard ones. Every single year, we all as business owners, we are making decisions. What did we learn from them? What would you do differently? Right? I want you to really think about, what hard lessons did you learn over the last year? Have you heard yourself saying, I'm scared to invest money in my business because what if it doesn't come back? I don't know how much to pay myself, so I won't take a paycheck yet. I'm reinvesting in the business anyway. Or how about, I'm not going to spend any more money until I know exactly where my money is going. Well, let me tell you, you are not alone. In fact, we have heard all of these stories and more throughout the last 9 years at Kickstart Accounting Inc. And that is why we have created the Money Mindset Mastery Framework, to finally unlock and overcome these stories, to finally feel confident in your financial decisions and pay yourself what you deserve. The first step to create a profitable and successful business is to first understand your money mindset. Find out your money mindset personality type by going to kickstartaccountinginc.com/quiz. I can't wait to hear what your money mindset type is. Now, I'm going to ask you to get into your numbers a little bit here. I want you to know before you go into next year, what was your top selling product or service line? Because in order for you to know where your attention needs to be over the next 12 months, I need you to understand what was your top selling product or service line. Now, don't stop there. What was your most profitable product or service line? Where are you making money? What revenue streams are you actually creating a profit from? So before we decide where we're going to double down our efforts next year, I need you to know and understand where were you profitable last year. As you review your financial statements, so all of our clients at Kickstart Accounting Inc., every single client gets their financial statements in December so that they can review their financial statements, one, before they go to the tax accountant, but also so that they have them ready to be able to go through this process of building a budget and setting goals. So review your financial statements for the last 12 months. This includes your profit and loss by month. I want you to look at your expenses, look at your spending. Did they align with your goals for last year? So if your goal was to increase revenue and generate additional sales, were you spending enough money to help you with that goal? Did you spend money in a way that allowed you to hit that goal? And if the answer is no, that's okay. There's no judgment. There's no failure. You're not getting a grade. Like I promise you, I'm not going to grade you on this. You're not going to get an F. But if you did not spend money in a way that supported your goals, now we know when we look at next year that we need to actually put money and investment in the places that are going to align with our future goals. So maybe your goal was to be able to care for your aging parent. We had a client a few years ago who came to us and said, "Hey, I've been in high growth mode the last few years. I've brought on a ton of new clients. I'm running this business and I love it, but I have to be there to care for my mother." So she actually had bought a home in which her mother could move in with her. And it was her priority to care for her mother. She wanted to be able to have that time, to be able to give back. And so that year, we helped her build a team. We helped her understand how much cash it would require for her to be able to hire team members to help her to be able to have that time. So when we sent her financial statements each month, we knew that she wasn't as profitable. We knew that her expenses were high and that payroll was her number one expense through the year. But guess what? That spending allowed her to have that time with her mother. She was at her mother's bedside as she passed away, and she will always remember having that time with her mother. And the bonus to this is that she never went back. When she had her team in place, she never went back. She was able to continue to live her life with a work-life balance, the hobbies that she always wanted to try, the things that she always wanted to do. She had enough time and space in her life now to be able to allow her to do that. So her payroll, after her mother passed away, continued to align with her goals because her goals then changed to stay with that work-life balance, right? So do your expenses today align with your goals over the last 12 months? And then what was your business's final net profit? Not all profit is created equal. So just because you are profitable, it doesn't mean you get the gold star. It doesn't mean you got an A. If your net profit, if you are very profitable, but working 80 hours a week, not caring for yourself, not hitting the gym, not hitting your hobbies, not having dinner with your family, then this is going to allow you some space to say, this is what I need to change next year. So I don't want you to think of this profit number as I made it. This profit number is the launch to how you want to be able to spend your time in next year. So if you broke even or even lost money, I want you to go back to look at your expenses. Did it align with your goals? We have clients all the time. There are so many businesses who broke even or took home a loss this year because they were spending to reinvest and rebuild in their business. Guys, we are in this for the long game. Like the business is an infinite game. It is not finite. So you did not win or lose this year. Enjoy the journey. Let's invest in our businesses so that we have healthy, sustainable, profitable businesses in the long term. So if you took home a loss this year or you broke even, I want you to look at your expenses. Did it align with your goals? And does it align with where you want to be in the future? All right. Now that we've done the reflection, now that we've looked back, we can start to goal set and look forward. So, what are your short term business goals for this year? And maybe you can't answer this question yet. Maybe you need to think on what your long term business goals. So, these are the first two questions in the goal setting section of this worksheet. What are the long term business goals? When's the last time you thought about this? Like, where do you want to be in 10 years? Do you still want to be running this business in 10 years? Do you want to have a team? Do you want to be the leader of the team? Do you love client work? And so you want to be the one continuing to fulfill services. And therefore, you need to have a leader of your team to help you because you want to be boots on the ground working with your clients. Where do you want your business to be in 10 years? Long term business goals. Okay. So think about what are your long term business goals. And then it will help you think, what do I need to do this year? What are my short term business goals? And I'm being vague here on purpose because it doesn't have to be revenue, it doesn't have to be profit. There is so much buzz online, and there's going to be 1,000,001 podcast episodes on how to hit 6 figures, how to hit 7 figures, how to set a SMART goal. I want you to think deeper than that. I want you to really think about, what do you want from your business this year? What do you want your business to do for you? Are you here creating a legacy for your kids? Are you creating a legacy for your family? Are you building wealth for your family? Do you want to take a vacation? Do you want to have epic memories for you and your family? Are you part of a mission? Is it your goal to hire amazing people and give these amazing people an awesome career at this amazing company? For me, that's my goal. I love our team and I love that we get to have a space for women in a male dominated field. So when I talk about getting access to financial information for our clients, we are also giving access to a group of professional women who accounting is traditionally a very male dominated field. And so we are able to give back to the team members who are part of this mission with us. And so for me, one of our goals this year and every year to give back to our community of team members who are helping us on this mission to help you, the business owner, understand your numbers so that you can build your legacy, whatever that might be for you. So know what you want your business to do for you so that you can set your short-term business goals. This might include a revenue goal. This might include a profit goal, but I really want you to think deeper about what you want your business to do for you. All right, next is, what is the amount of final net profit you would like to see in your business? Remember, not all revenue is created equal. What is your profit goal? If you are going to be spending money in changing the structure of your benefits, or you're going to be hiring additional team members this year, if you are going to be taking more money out to pay yourself a reasonable compensation as an S Corp, your profitability might be lower. But I want you to understand, what is your profit goal, because not all revenue is created equally. So what do you want your take home? So your profit is revenue minus all operating expenses. What do you want your profit to be at the end of the year? How much will you pay yourself this year, and why? Why, right? Why? I want you to answer that question. We hear from our clients all the time, I want to pay myself more. I want to pay myself 6 figures. I want to make how much I used to make in my corporate position. But why? What is the purpose behind making more? And I'm not saying that you don't deserve it or that it's not possible or that I don't want you to do it, but I want you to understand why. If it's just to bring home more than you did last year, I don't know that that's going to be motivating enough for us to hit once we're in our slow season, right? Because we're all going to hit a slow season this year. And when it feels tempting to say, "Oh, it's slow. I don't need to take this money home." I want you to remember why you're paying yourself. Is it the vacation with your kids? Is it to invest it in the market to generate wealth? Is it to build a retirement policy or retirement plan for you and your spouse? Why do you want to pay yourself this money this year? And what is the dollar amount? And if you're a client here at Kickstart Accounting Inc., I want you to share this with us so that we can help hold you accountable. Now, remember, as an S Corp, if you are an S Corp, this number needs to be through payroll. As an S Corp, we have to pay ourselves a reasonable compensation before we can take owner's draws. But even if you're taking draws, I want you to understand how much are you going to take home to your personal account this year. All right, our last two questions are, what is your intention for this year? And what season of your business are you in? Are you in high growth, maintenance, finding balance? What do you want your intention to be for this year? Write it down. Write it down. You can print this out, put it out next to your computer. I actually have Post-it notes all over my office. We've set some of our goals, our intentions, our revenue goals on Post-it notes. And as the business has grown to a 7-figure a year business, I have kept the old Post-it notes. Last week when I met with my leadership team, we reflected on the Post-it notes and remembering when these were a goal. And so I want you to print this out, keep it, and share it with your money team so that they can hold you accountable. Doesn't this feel better than setting a New Year's resolution? We're not setting a New Year's resolution. We're setting an intention for the year. We can do a mid-year check-in. This can change. You have permission to change over and over again. But set it now so that as you're reviewing your financial statements, when your money team sends you your financial statements, I want you to be able to look at your expenses. I want you to be able to look at your spending. I want you to be able to look at your revenue and ask yourself, does this align with the season I'm in as a person? Does this align with the season I'm in as a business owner? Does this align with my intention for the year? Now, I promise you, I will keep on reminding you throughout the year. I will walk you through how to measure your financial statements compared to these goals, not the SMART goals, these goals, this financial goal setting worksheet, because I've done this over the last 9 years and I know it works. If you need support, if you need accountability, I encourage you to go to kickstartaccountinginc.com and book a call. Our team and I are here to be a resource for you. It is literally our mission. We jump out of bed excited to help you, the business owner, thrive, to grow in your mission. We are here to be a resource for you. Go to kickstartaccountinginc.com and book a call. I'll talk to you soon. But if you enjoyed today's episode, I asked for you to do one thing in return. I would love if you could like and subscribe and share this podcast episode with one other person who can use this information. I am looking forward to our podcast next week. We'll see you there.